Donald Trump ran for president on a tough law and order platform, but now he's supporting a bipartisan bill that would change how justice is served in the U.S. He's urging Congress to pass the First Step Act, and it would be the biggest change to criminal justice rules in a generation. The bill would boost efforts to rehabilitate prisoners and give judges more leeway when sentencing nonviolent offenders, particularly drug offenders. Joining me now to take a closer look is Georgia Republican Congressman Doug Collins, who co-wrote a criminal justice reform bill that passed the House earlier this year. Kevin Ring is president of Families Against Mandatory Minimums. He spent more than a year in prison for his role in the Jack Abramoff lobbying scandal. It's good to see both of you. So, Congressman, make your pitch. Why do you think this bill is important? What should voters know about it?
What they should know about it is what the president said yesterday. This is about giving people who have made mistakes, who went to prison, a chance to start when they first go in, to find the ways that they can cut the recidivism rate so that when they do their time, we're not saying that you don't punish crime. We're saying there's a better way to actually, while they're in jails and while they're in prison, to actually find the roots of why they got there. And let's make some progress to get them, when they come back out, to be active and productive citizens. This is simply monies and morals. This is about doing the best with our tax dollars while taking into account that these people are human beings who have made mistakes, and if they want to have an opportunity, they can have redemption. That's what this is about.
Kevin, you have firsthand knowledge that you probably wish you didn't have, but based on that, what does this bill do? What do you think is the most important thing from your perspective?
Well, from my perspective, this recognizes that when someone does time, the whole family serves that time with them. That, this is a traumatic thing for families. They're usually very far apart from their loved ones who are in prison. It's hard to keep those family ties. And if people can't be compassionate for the offender, for the person who made the mistake, they should at least recognize that 94% of everyone who's serving in prison today is going to come home someday. They're going to come back to our communities, and that's in red states and blue states, towns and cities. They're going to be our neighbors again. And so we want them to come back better than they went in. And when I was in prison, I saw people who wanted to have a second chance, but while they were there, they got no programming, no training, no drug or alcohol treatment, nothing that was going to help them get back on their feet. And it was a complete waste of time and resources. So I think what Congressman has been able to do here, and he's been a champion, is put together a bill that says, while people are away, let's do everything we can to make them better, and it'll make society safer.
Well, let me read some statistics that I think give some people pause about some things in this bill. It's from the Bureau of Justice Statistics, recently releasing this study on the rate of prisoners arrested again, recidivism rate. 68% of prisoners released from state jails were arrested within 3 years, 79% within 6 years, 83% within 9 years. So I guess the question becomes, Congressman, if you try to give them some sort of training, if you try to help them reintegrate into society, is that wasted taxpayer money given these overwhelming statistics, or does it argue for your bill?
No, I mean, in fact, it argues for our bill. Kevin makes a great point. We're not giving people a chance when they get out. Those statistics are screaming to anybody who wants to look at this and saying this is exactly why we need a piece of legislation like this, because that's what's happening the way we're doing it now. If we want to continue to have recidivism rates like we have now, then let's do nothing. Let's give in to the fear. Let's give in to the misinformation. But let's start giving people an opportunity in those state and local, which have been the laboratories for this. Places like Georgia, Kentucky in particular, which I want Mitch McConnell to put this bill on the floor. His own state is seeing the benefits of this, Texas and others. This is why we need this so desperately. We need it because it actually will work. It's about time the federal government and the state to follow the state's lead into doing good, proper spending and proper help so that we can get the workforce we need and also give people a redemption and a second chance. This is all about those statistics. All they say to me is we need to do this and we need to do it fast.
Kevin, this compromise bill includes a provision that reduces the 3 strikes penalty for felony drug offenses from life behind bars to 25 years, but the provision would not be retroactive. I'm wondering if there are things about this bill that concern you and sort of how you're feeling overall about where we are in the country. If you feel confident that we are in a place where compromise, bipartisanship like this can happen.
Well, there's very few issues that you're going to find bipartisanship on, but this is one of them. Collins has worked with Congressman Hakeem Jeffries of New York. We've seen bipartisan cooperation in the Senate over a number of years. I think the bill passed in the House with an overwhelming majority. It would in the Senate as well. President Trump, who ran on a law and order campaign, endorsed it yesterday. And when you talk to the families of prisoners, they are not concerned at all about the politics of this. When somebody is drowning, they don't care about the politics of the person who throws them a lifeline. They just want to be saved. And for the tens of thousands of families out there who are suffering under the weight of this broken system that we have, they're just looking for progress. And so I agree with Congressman Collins. I hope Senator McConnell brings this up. I think it would get 80 or 90 votes. And that's as close to unanimity as we're going to get in this country on any issue.
Kevin Ring, Congressman Doug Collins, we'll continue to follow this, and we thank you so much for your time. Much appreciated.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks
and we'll be right back.